Alright, so Minecraft Live 2025, the spring version of the event, took place yesterday on March 22nd, and I honestly have quite a few thoughts. And I want to first say that I'm not trying to attack the developers. I understand that they are people, and that they are employees working at Mojang, and that some of the issues might not even be their fault, but might be the fault of Microsoft. With that said, however, though, I am going to be brutal in some cases because I was heavily disappointed by this year's Minecraft Live. Now, we're going to get a second one later in the year, but I honestly am not excited for what was announced. I'm not really in any mood about it, apart from just disappointed. Sure, the new update features seem somewhat interesting, but look, the update's probably going to end up being a disaster. And I'll talk about why in this video. I just don't like Minecraft at this current state in terms of what they've been doing. So let's get into the nitty-gritty of it. Alright, so I first want to say that I feel like this event was a complete dumpster fire. I think this is worse than last year's Minecraft Live. I think these are only going to get worse. Mojang clearly have chosen a different path for taking the game by doing these smaller update drops and multiple Minecraft Live events. And let's just talk about that for a minute. I don't think Minecraft Live should be a multi-year event. I think it should be one time per year, and they should bring a lot more to it because this is their one chance to show the community, hey, here's everything you can anticipate. I think it should be a celebration of the game. What this year's Minecraft Live felt like was literally an advertisement. You went from pre-show to Tiny Ends, Tiny Agnes, Tiny Vu, Vu, I forget his name. You went from this little cartoon to, okay, here's Minecraft movie clip. Here's Spring Drop announcement. Here's the next update. I just really did not like it because it just felt so corporate. And look, I like movies, and those are corporate. But, like, it just felt different. It just felt way less engaging. It was so boring. It was literally just 30 minutes of the developers rushing through things, and then, oh, here's a deep dig where we go through the update. There's no Q&A with the developers, nothing like that. It's just literally, oh, let's play through the update. So now you ruined what the update looks like in-game because you're literally having developers play it. I hated this Minecraft Live so much. I hate it now. I did not like this Minecraft Live event. And I think they're only going to get worse because clearly Mojang's chosen that they want to stick to going 2 times a year and to having smaller updates. So let's talk about the drop system. I don't know who they're claiming was clamoring for a drop system. I don't know who they're claiming when they say that they're trying to do what the community wants. Because I'm a community member, and I hate the drop system. I think the drop system is lazy. I think the drop system is awful. And, I don't think that a drop system can't work, but I think the way Mojang's doing it is awful. I think what they should do is have a drop in the spring, a drop in the fall, and a huge update in the summer. Instead, it looks like, oh, we're going to have a tiny spring drop, we're going to have a tiny summer drop, and then we're going to have whatever's at the end of the year. Why on earth are you doing this? Why? And not only that, but your drops aren't surprising. And look, I think I understand why they're doing it, because the updates were getting way too big, they were overworking themselves, it just became a whole mess. And they can't maintain doing those size updates all the time. But here's what I propose. Just figure out something else. Figure out a size that works for you. If you're going to do a drop system, let it be a way for you to address community's desires. If people want an end update, go ahead and do an end update. Why on earth are we getting a Happy Ghast? Why on earth are we getting this new mount? Oh, because the developers felt like they needed some way for you to be able to build easier. Yeah, I get why they added that, because, building is an important part of the game. But it just feels so lame. It just feels so lame. Like, okay, cool. 1.21.6 is going to have a happy gas, and it's going to have a locator bar, and probably one or two small things that they add in just so it isn't a complete dumpster fire. But I still feel like it's going to be a complete dumpster fire. You know why the spring drop was more exciting? Because we knew nothing that was coming. We had no idea what they were adding. Sure, they kind of ruined it by teasing it throughout the week, but it still felt more surprising that they were doing a drop they didn't talk about at Minecraft Live at all. But no, instead we're just I didn't like this at all. It's terrible. It was really badly advertised to the Minecraft Live event because, usually you'd build up anticipation. For example, they'd announce it in September and you'd have to wait till October. They literally announced it at like the beginning of the month, and then it happened at the end of the month. And maybe that was a good thing. Maybe they knew that this live event was going to be lame. I just don't know what happened. I really, really don't know what happened because this was awful. This was really, really bad. This is like... I feel like what happened was 1.19 and the Caves and Cliffs update were a mess. So Mojang wanted to go smaller. They had 120. And then 121 happened, and it felt like, okay, we're going back to these bigger updates. This is a better size for things. And then they just hit rock bottom, and we're like, we're going to add a black and white forest biome with a couple nice-looking blocks. And then we're going to add this one interesting mob, which you don't do anything with except farm things. And what do you farm? Resin. Resin is the resource you can farm. What does resin do? You build with it. I hate that. I hate that they added a whole new biome, tried to make it feel really cool and interesting by making it this, really creepy black and white forest, and then they just dropped the ball. And I know that obviously they can't add everything that the community wants. They can't make every update feel like a complete overhaul of the game. And I know that modded features sometimes aren't the best for the game. But my goodness, what about the sniffer? Like, talk about dropping the ball just completely. You added 2 building blocks. Okay, can we stop for a second? I don't want any more building blocks. I don't. You keep adding them. I'm not a builder, so they just feel like a bunch of bloat. Yeah, I appreciate that they exist. Look, I don't mind building blocks. But I hate that Mojang keep adding them and being like, we're adding stuff. I don't care. I don't care that you added this new resin block that can make these, blocks that people aren't even fully happy with. I mean, let's talk about like 1.21.5. People had some issues with the spawn eggs. Some people didn't like them. Some of them needed changes. Is Mojang changing them? No, they're just releasing the update as it is. That's my exact problem. And then some resource pack developers going to go apply the changes that people want. So literally, the community is doing what Mojang is paid to do. And I think that's the most insulting thing. That a community member who probably isn't getting paid unless they're on the Bedrock Marketplace, and that's a whole other different discussion. Let's say I make an update that adds a bunch of new mobs and biomes. I'm not paid to do that. If I do it in a data pack, I'm not paid to do it. And I'm not saying that everything I make should be in the game. What I'm saying is that I add more content, though I am unpaid, but Mojang, who is paid and has trillions of dollars with Microsoft, adds worse content. Their update sizes are worse. That's the most insulting thing. That a community member can come up with all these ways that the update could be made better. And Mojang, who's paid, is just like, we'll add a new biome. We'll add a few new blocks. We'll add a happy gas. And honestly, the happy gas, I feel like that's too modded for the game. But whatever. They did it. We'll see how bad this update is when they start snapshots for it, but I'm not really excited. I'm not. I mean, sure, I'll check it out because it's a new update, but, they need to do better. They really, really need to do better. They really need to fix things. They really need to make the game more enjoyable. Because Minecraft, honestly, I feel like they're killing it. I feel like they're killing the game. If Minecraft was ever dying, I think this year might kill it. Because a lot of the popular YouTubers, like Dream, are gone for good reason. So now they really have nothing. It's just, oh, random Minecraft content that people watch, but it isn't as big as, like, Dream, for example, or, you know, those guys. And I'm not saying I like those YouTubers. I don't. What I'm saying is, they did bring an audience, and now those YouTubers are gone. So I feel like Mojang needs to step up their game. Honestly, this is why I feel like Mojang needs to get out of Microsoft. If there was any way they could ever get away from Microsoft, they need to just do it because they're going to kill the game. And they're already killing the game. And they just need to figure this out. Because Minecraft Live 2025 was one of the worst live streams they've ever done. I'm saying it. I think it's worse than last year's. Maybe I'm a little bit wrong for saying that. Maybe last year's was really bad. But at least it felt more exciting because we knew the drop could be something interesting and it was our first time doing it. But now that we've had a drop and we can kind of see how little effort is put into them, we're just like, yay, I don't care. That's my biggest issue. I don't care. I'm not excited. It's just, you added a new mob. Cool. It isn't even like a cool animal or anything. It's just a flying ghast. So they couldn't even come up with a new creature. They literally just retextured an old one. Why? Why are you doing this, Mojang? I don't get it. It's so frustrating. Oh my goodness. I did not like this live event. I really did not like Minecraft Live 2025, the spring live event. I really think that Mojang need to fix things. And I'm not saying that the game is being treated like garbage, you know, all the time. Mojang do make some good choices, but things are just getting worse. It feels like whenever Mojang has a good idea or whenever, you know, there's an interesting feature, they always drop the ball. But, this isn't working. Anyways, those are my thoughts on Minecraft Live and the new drop system. I am not happy as a community member, but I will say this. While I do appreciate a lot of the technical changes, it feels like what Mojang is literally doing is making the community do a better job at updating the game than they are. They're adding all these data pack features. Meanwhile, their gameplay features are just lackluster. They're just awful. I really do not like this new system. They really need to improve things. I don't know how they're going to improve them, but Mojang, I think you need to back out of the drop system. Because as a community member, I am heavily disappointed, and I just don't think this is working.